Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Lauber, and today I'm going to be doing your instructional read aloud for Monday. It's actually Miss Etheridge's favorite day, May the 4th. All right, so I'm going to read your learning target and success criteria. Got my nails finally done all rainbow. So our learning target for today is I can grow my knowledge as a nonfiction reader. So we are still working on nonfiction text. And remember, nonfiction, NF, means not fake or stories that are all real. So we're still working on stories that are real. Our success criteria is I'm successful when I can monitor for meaning and read with a sense of wow. So that's just a fancy way of saying that when we're reading our stories today, we're going to be expecting to learn something because we aren't going to know everything that's inside of our books. So we're still going to be learning, okay? We're going to be reading with a sense of curiosity and we're going to be reading to learn. Okay, so here's Miss Lauber's anchor chart for today. It's very short and sweet and to the point. I'm going to quickly review this and then I will go into actually showing you how to do this strategy in a nonfiction book that I have. All right, so the top of my anchor chart says, don't just look at words, read with curiosity and read with interest. Because when you read with curiosity and interest, you are actually wanting to learn, right? You're more likely to remember the information that you read if you're reading with curiosity, which means you're thinking about it, and interest, something that you're interested in. If you look at my picture here, you can see that my little person has these words inside of his head. It says facts, 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 right? Because a nonfiction book, you are reading to learn. So you're learning real facts, right? So you're learning these real facts, and as you're learning them, you're thinking about them. You're thinking about the facts, and then you can react to the facts. And you can react by saying things such as, wow, I never knew that. And then you're soaking in that information and you're learning it and it's staying inside of your brain because you're thinking about it. And then you're reacting to it as well. So I'm going to show you today how to read with curiosity and interest and how to react to my facts. All right, let's go ahead and get started with my book for today. Okay, so something that interests me and that I'm a little bit curious about is planets or space. I'm very curious about it just because space is just such a big place. It just goes on forever. I'm very curious to see if I can find out more information about the planets or the moons or the stars. So I'm going to try to find a book that will pique my interest, something I'm interested in, which is space, and that I'm already curious about, which will make it a little bit easier for me to want to read a nonfiction book. So let's see what I have for us today. So here is my nonfiction book for today. It's titled Planets. And I'm going to approach this book expecting to learn something new. Because as you read new information, such as like the facts, or you see some new cool pictures, I'm going to pause and let that information sink in. And then I'm going to react to it or read with a sense of wow or curiosity or interest. I'm going to react by saying, wow, I never knew that. And then talk about the new thing that I learned. So I have the page marked today that I want to read, and the page that I want to read today is titled Our Moon. I'll give you a closer look just for a second. Take this out of the way. All right, so it says Our Moon. Earth only has one moon. It appears large and bright in the night sky. Astronauts first walked on the moon more than 40 years ago. They left footprints in the dirt. There is no weather on the moon to wash or blow them away. Those footprints are still there. And then over here we have a key word here. They call it a space clue. And it says weather, and it gives us a definition. It says the changing conditions that can include temperature, rainfall, wind, and clouds. Because I mentioned that there is no weather on the moon. And then we also have our picture with a caption that says astronaut Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon in 1969 as part of the Apollo 11 mission. All right, so I read this page, and now it's time for me to think about what I have read. What did I learn that was new? Well, I actually already knew a couple of things that was mentioned in this page. I already knew that Earth had one moon, and I already knew that the moon comes out at night. So those are old facts to me. But I did find something interesting in this bottom paragraph here. I'm gonna reread it one more time. So astronauts first walked on the moon more than 40 years ago. They left footprints in the dirt. There is no weather on the moon to wash or blow them away. Those footprints are still there. So I'm going to stop and say, what did I learn that was new? Well, the thing that I learned that was new was that there's no weather on the moon. I actually already did know that there were footprints in the dirt on the moon. I saw this in a museum a couple of years ago, but I did not know that there's no weather on the moon. I never really thought about that. I never thought about there not being any wind or any kind of like rain or anything like that, or temperature changes to make the footprints disappear. Okay, so I figured out the fact that I learned, which was that there's no weather on the moon. So I'm going to react to that fact by saying my statement, which is, wow, I never knew that, and then fill my blank. So I can react to my statement by saying, wow, I never knew that there was no weather on the moon to wash the footprints away. Okay, so I let that sink in. I let that fact sink in, and now I'm adding on to what's so interesting about what I just read. So I'm building my knowledge. I'm building onto the facts that I already know. I'm going to do one more example here on these 2 pages here. It's still about moons, so we're still on the topic of moons. Some planets like Earth have moons that travel with them. Moons are objects made of ice or rock that orbit a planet. Some planets have no moons. Some have many. Jupiter has more than 60. We have a picture here of Jupiter, and here are 4 of its moons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saturn has a giant moon called Titan. It is one of the largest moons in the solar system. It is even bigger than the planet Mercury. Wow, so here's our moon. This is Earth's moon. Here's the planet Mercury. And here is Titan, which is a moon of Saturn. All right, so I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask myself, what is something new that I've learned? Well, I actually learned a couple of different things on both of these pages. So I'm going to react to those things that I've learned. I'm going to think about those cool facts that I just read. I'm going to start off by saying, wow, I didn't know Jupiter had more than 60 moons. That's a lot, because normally when I think about moons, I only think about the one that we have. So I thought that all the planets had one moon. I didn't know Jupiter had 60 of them. And then on this page, I'm going to react to my fact by saying, wow, I didn't know that they named moons. They named a moon Titan, which is Saturn's moon, and it's bigger than the planet Mercury. All right, boys and girls, this was just a quick recap on reading with curiosity and interest and wanting to learn your facts by reading with a sense of wow, or reading with a sense of curiosity or a sense of interest. And you can do that by picking your nonfiction story and then reading it and then expecting to learn something new, right? Because you're going to learn something new in every nonfiction book. And then when you reading your nonfiction book, you're thinking about the facts and then you're reacting to your facts. Remember, you are reacting to your facts by saying something like, wow, I never knew that, okay? So today, after you're finished reading your nonfiction story, either the passage or a personal book or something even on Epic, I want you to write down this statement, wow, I never knew that, and then you're going to fill in the blank. You're going to put your own fact here that you learned today, and then you're going to share that with Mr. Fox, either by dojo or an email or giving him a call and talking about it. So I want y'all to do that today for your activity. If y'all need any help with reading with curiosity or interest or reading with a sense of wow, go ahead and reach out to me, okay? I'll be here to help y'all. Bye.